My first taste of overlanding was on the Daniel Boone backcountry byway in Kentucky. I just bought a 97 Jeep Grand Cherokee and took it out for a short overnight trip with my buddy Jeremy. It was that trip that made me realize I didn't want to build it out into a rock crawler. I wanted an overlander. Unfortunately, my $1,100 Jeep was not going to make it very far, so a few months later I sold it and bought a much newer model. The first place I took it was the Byway with Jeremy. It's been a while since I've ridden the trail system, so I figured it was time to go back, once again in a Jeep, and once again with Jeremy. It's been a while since I've run the Daniel Boone backcountry byway, and a lot has changed since the last time I was out here. This is actually a brand new road. When I downloaded the updated maps last night, saw this one, so I figured this is a good place to start. So just stopped here, aired down in the middle of the road. Thankfully it's not a very busy one because Jeremy's pulled out all of his cooking stuff. He's making us lunch today and he had to start it marinating about now.
So we're going to do a Asian-inspired steak kebabs with some strip steaks and lots of veggies. So we got to mix up a marinade first, marinade for 2 to 4 hours, and then it's ready for the grill.
All right, we're ready. Let's go. The Byway is located in the Daniel Boone National Forest, close to the famous Red River Gorge, and works its way through forest roads, back roads, and some long abandoned county roads, one of which is Mountain Springs Road. We've made it over to Mountain Springs Road, and this is the first ever trail that I was on in Kentucky. I wasn't driving, I didn't own an off-road vehicle here at the time, I just moved across here from the UK, so Jeremy took me out in his old Jeep, and about a week later is when I bought mine. Mountain Springs Road is known for being one of the tougher roads on the byway. There are other roads that are similar, and a few with tougher spots, but none that have the constant mud pits and technical areas of Mountain Springs. It's a lot of fun. One of the things Mountain Springs Road is known for is being extremely muddy, and even though we haven't had rain in Kentucky for quite some time, you've still got some huge mud pits. And the trail splits here, so we've got some choices. Basically got huge mud pit, followed by an axle twister mud pit, or a medium mud pit, followed by a lot of small mud pits and some tight squeezes through trees, or you can kind of combine the both. And I think we're going to try and combine them. So now it's time for lunch, and I've been looking forward to this all day because we've got some pretty fancy stuff from Jeremy. He is, I consider him a professional chef, especially when you compare him to what I usually end up doing, which is sandwiches for lunch. So he's gonna be cooking for us. If you want to see more of his cooking stuff, he has stuff on social media like Instagram, YouTube, under Dotson's Smokehouse and Grill. and it will make you hungry every time.
It's a nice t-shirt. Where'd you get it from?
RevereOverland.com.
Very nice.
My favorite color. They have them in green, gray, and red.
Yeah.
Red, yeah, as well. They're very comfy.
Jeremy's going to be cooking on a new grill that I've got. It is a Scotty flat pack grill, and you can either use it with butane or you can put charcoal in it. Today, since we're on the trail, on the go, we're going to use butane because that way it cools down in like 15 minutes and we can just pack it up flat, ready to leave again once we're done.
The Scotty setup is quick and simple, with all 9 pieces slotting together easily and securely, so we were ready to grill in no time at all.
They are coming along fairly nicely.
They certainly smell good.
Just gave them a little flip.
Well, it's already smelling amazing. We only just put it on there, so I'm looking forward to this a lot. We also have a lid that comes together, also flat pack, so you can use this kind of like an oven, but with the skewers, we don't need it right now.
There we go. Now, man, I think it turned out pretty good. I think the grill worked really well. Use it again. And next time I think we're going to try with charcoal.
Well, that food was amazing, and I think I'll let Jeremy come with me again on a trail ride in the future. If you want to see more of his stuff, check out Dotson's Smokehouse and Grill on Instagram or YouTube. Once again, that grill is from Scotty. It made an amazing lunch, packed up, super easy, flat, takes up no space at all. So now we just got to pack the rest of the truck up, and then we're going to head that way along the Daniel Boone Backcountry Byway.
One of the things that surprises me every time I run Kentucky trails is how much they change. Although it's been a while since I have been on Mountain Springs Road, I was not expecting it to be so different.
Holy crap!
Some areas have become much harder, including a 6-foot tall bank of clay and mud that just didn't exist last time I was there. I would imagine this is a very difficult section to get up, and winching is a very real possibility.
That's got you. Lifted the tire. This is actually my first time out with the new Metal Cloak Game Changer lift that I put on it recently, and the Sphere 4x4 skid plates. And I'm glad I've got them because they're both getting a workout on this trail. I'll put a link to both of them in the description, but the Sphere 4x4 skid plates you can actually get from our website at revereoverland.com, not just for the Jeep, but for basically everything, for a whole bunch of stuff. Definitely all of the Toyotas. We've made it over to New Virginia Ridge Road on the Byway, and if you want to learn more about the Byway, including downloading the maps through Carto Tracks, go to ridethedbbb.org, and I'll put a link to that in the description as well. And the Byway is actually a non-profit organization that fights to keep the trails open here in Kentucky. They do fundraising events each year. There's one coming up in a couple of weeks' time, and they will open the registration for today only. So if you are watching this on the day of release, go to ridethedbbb.org and sign up right now. We'll be there. If you're watching this in a couple of years' time, then still go to the website because they might have one coming up soon, and we'll probably be at that one too. And because it's such an important organization, what I'm going to do is donate all of my YouTube revenue from this video for next 3 months, just so I don't have to keep track of it forever, to the Byway so they can keep on doing what they're doing. So help us both out by liking the video and leaving a comment to help with the YouTube algorithm. The Byway originally started as a 100-mile loop that would take a couple of days to finish. The trails now cover a network of over 500 miles through the forest with a good mix of difficulties, and a lot of them, like the New Virginia Ridge Road, are easy enough for stock off-road vehicles to go through without any issues. There are places for dispersed camping along the route, but unfortunately they are few and far between thanks to the large amount of private land ownership within the Daniel Boone National Forest. This is Sinking Creek, and it's technically not on the backcountry byway, it's just like quarter of a mile off it, but a really cool spot to come down to. And there is actually a road, or trail I guess you'd call it, that goes along Sinking Creek, and you can see how it, see where it gets its name, because the creek goes in and out of springs as you drive along it. So a pretty cool spot down here. You just gotta make sure that you're in something that's capable enough to go down the ledges, and if you're doing what we're doing, which is backtracking to the byway, go back up them. Getting out again actually ended up being a lot more difficult than I thought it would be. The slick rock kept pushing the Jeep over to the side where the rear diff would get hung up. Thankfully, one carefully placed rock helped us clear it. So we're airing up now after what has been a super fun day. If you enjoyed the video, make sure you subscribe to the channel. And I know this has been a short one, but we don't have a lot of time. We're super busy, especially with our preparations for the Back to Byway ride, where we're going to have a booth, and for Overland Expo East, where we're going to have a whole booth for RevereOverland.com. So if you're at either of those, make sure you drop by and say hi. Hopefully I'll see you guys there. Thanks for watching.